29 जुलाई 2020, जी हाँ, यही वो दिन था जब भारत को एक नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 मिली। यह राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति जब से आई है तब से अलग अलग विश्वविद्यालयों ने यह प्रयास किया है कि इसका कैसे क्रियान्वयन किया जा सके। आज हम उस मोड़ पर आ चुके हैं जब इस नीति को आए हुए लगभग 5 वर्ष पूरे होने जा रहे हैं। हर विश्वविद्यालय ने अपने अपने स्तर पर प्रयास किए। डॉक्टर हरिसिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय ने भी बहुत प्रयास किए। इसमें कई बैठकें भी की, कई वर्कशॉप्स किए, कई आयोजन किए, कई सेमिनार किए, कई एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाया और उसका निचोड़ ये निकला कि आज डॉक्टर हरिसिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय NEP के क्रियान्वयन के चौथे वर्ष में है। जी हाँ, चौथा वर्ष। इसका मतलब है कि हमारे छात्र, जो NEP कहती है कि 4 ईयर अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम, उसमें हमारे छात्र आ चुके हैं। आज ये आवश्यक है कि हम जानें कि इस पूरी नीति को हम पूरी तरह से कैसे क्रियान्वयन कर सकते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि अलग अलग विश्वविद्यालयों ने इस पर बहुत काम किया है, लेकिन डॉक्टर हरिसिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय ने एक छोटा सा और एक नया प्रयास किया है। इस नए प्रयास में जो राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति उच्च शिक्षा के लिए ख़ास तौर पर कहती है, जो 11 एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं, उन पर आधारित ये एक 10 वीडियोज़ की एक सीरीज़ का एक निर्माण हमारे ही विश्वविद्यालय के EMRC स्टूडियो ने किया है। और इन वीडियोज़ के माध्यम से हमने छात्रों के बारे में भी चर्चा की है, हमने शिक्षकों के बारे में भी चर्चा की है, हमने गवर्नेंस के बारे में भी हमने कुछ चर्चा की है, इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन ऑफ एजुकेशन, इसके बारे में भी हमने चर्चा की है, इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन की भी चर्चा की है, भाषाओं के बारे में भी चर्चा की है। और हर शिक्षक को पुस्तक लिखने और पढ़ने का बहुत शौक़ होता है। इसी क्रम में हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के शिक्षकों द्वारा अभी जब ज्ञान कुंभ में 4 पुस्तकों का विमोचन किया गया था और अभी 5 वर्ष पूरे होने पर हमारे शिक्षकों द्वारा ही 12 पुस्तकें फिर आने वाली हैं। मुझे पूरी आशा है कि शिक्षा नीति के अलग अलग पहलुओं पर जो चर्चा की गई है वो समस्त हमारे देशवासियों के लिए, समस्त शिक्षकों के लिए बहुत लाभकारी होगी। मैं ये भी बोलना चाहूँगी कि ये जितने भी वीडियोस बनाए गए हैं या जितनी भी पुस्तकें लिखी गई हैं, ये बाइलिंगुअल हैं, कुछ इंग्लिश में हैं और कुछ हिंदी में हैं, जिससे कि पूरे देश में इनका उपयोग किया जा सके। आज IT को लेकर हम कैसे पूरे शिक्षा में एक बदलाव लेकर आ रहे हैं, क्या क्या शिक्षा जगत में बदलाव होने चाहिए और कैसे अलग अलग शिक्षण संस्थाएं अपने लेवल पर राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति का क्रियान्वयन कर सकेंगे, इसके बारे में अलग अलग एपिसोड्स में अलग अलग शिक्षकों के साथ एक ये चर्चा की गई है। मुझे लगता है कि इन वीडियो के माध्यम से हमारी जितनी भी शिक्षण संस्थान हैं वो अवश्य ही लाभान्वित होंगे और आगे आने वाले समय में जो भी कमियां रह गई हैं इसके क्रियान्वयन में, उनको पूरा करने में हम अवश्य ही सफल होंगे। मैं डॉक्टर हरिसिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय की ओर से आप सभी को इन 5 वर्ष पूरे होने पर बहुत शुभकामनाएं देती हूं और आशा करती हूं कि आप जिस मिशन पर लगे हुए हैं उसमें अवश्य ही सफल हों। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Today we are honored to have with us Professor Neelima Gupta, the Vice Chancellor of Dr. Harisingh Gaur Central University. Professor Gupta is an eminent scientist and seasoned academic administrator. She has worked as Vice Chancellor for 3 more universities, including Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh, TM Bhagalpur University and Munger University in Bihar. Professor Gupta is a well-known zoologist. She has discovered more than 50 parasite species to the science and was honored with Janki Ammal Taxonomy Award by Government of India. Today's discussion is a part of our academic dialogue series, which is focused on catalyzing research in the context of implementing National Education Policy 2020. We will explore a wide range of themes, including the foundation of research in Indian universities and the significance of working together with different institutions on different subjects. Welcome, Professor Gupta, to the studio.
Thank you, Shweta ji.
India is going to a big change in education system with implementing National Education Policy 2020. I would say this policy is more flexible, more inclusive and research driven. So, my first question to you is that how does NEP 2020 aim to make India as a global research leader?
Well, Shweta ji, indeed this policy has come into practice since 2020. And as you say that research is a very important component, and looking into the global perspective, I would say that I am just reminded about our Honorable Prime Minister when he says that we have to become a Vishwaguru. So, if we have to become a Vishwaguru, that is if we have to make our international appearance, I would say that research plays a very important component. And if we boost up our research, especially at the national level, looking into every institution, I think that we can have a global recognition, especially with respect to research and its academia.
Yes, of course. We understand that creating research is very important and that ecosystem is required for India. So, how does NEP is playing an important role in developing an ecosystem in India?
I would like to go back to our previous education system and try to compare it with NEP 2020. That would be more appropriate of an answer to your question. That is, if we go back to our primitive education system, that is before the implementation of NEP, this system talked about examinations, it talked about evaluation, it talked about result declaration, and of course, research in scattered institutions without proper facilities in many of the cases. But now this education system is more holistic, and it talks about many things, and research is one of those components. So, if we are to develop an ecosystem of good education in our country, I must say that we have to boost up our research. We have to take it not only to the national fora, but also to the international fora.
Yes, that is very important. Madam, we can see that national education policy is making a lot of reform in education system. We would like to know what are the key reforms has been scheduled under the NEP 2020.
Well, I think we should begin right from the first step, and that is when we talk about NEP and when we talk about research. The first initiative which the Government of India has taken is to establish NRF, that is the National Research Foundation. And the main objective of this National Research Foundation is to boost up the research aroma of the entire country. And what is the policy behind this National Research Foundation? I would say that the government has already taken it in the form of an act, which has come out in the year 2023, and rupees 50,000 crores have been allocated to NRF for a 5-year duration, that is from 2023 to 2028. So, this is how this NRF has begun. But before going into the details of this NRF, I would just like to highlight that what are the objectives of this NRF and how we can improve the research culture. And in that, of course, first we have established an NRF, and then we talk about establishing R&D centers across the country. We also talk about transdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research. This is also very important. And we also talk about industry academia collaboration. And in addition, which all teachers, you are also a professor and head of the department, many a times the teachers are more focused on getting grants. So, NRF also talks about how to allocate grants to different universities and also to develop centers of excellence where research can be promoted to a higher level. So, these are the objectives of NEP with respect to research.
Thank you so much for bringing up the NRF issue in this area. Actually, we need research for fundings always. So, recently the Anusandhan National Research Foundation has been developed by Government of India. Many of colleagues wants to know that university can apply for the funding or how they can apply.
At first the funds are allocated, as I said that this is for a 5-year period, but it began with the allocation of 2000 crores in the first instance, but it came down incidentally. And then 620 crores or something of that tune they were allocated. And now firstly the funds are allocated, only then you can get funds. Once the funds are allocated, then there is a website and you can just log on to that website and it is all online. You have to get your papers ready and the information, of course the project details, what you want to make for that project, the objective should be there, the methodology should be there, what you plan to do, in fact how the country can be benefited through your research, and of course the finances, that is how much do you request under which head. So, all these things they are submitted on the portal, and then there is a committee which takes, like you apply for other projects also, you are already handling a number of projects. So, like you apply for other projects, similarly this ANRF, this also takes care of the projects. You have to apply for them, and you have to also I would suggest that first you have to have a look as to in what areas ANRF is providing funds. So, then you have to choose that which areas we can apply and which you are best at, and then you can go on with the routine procedure and you can apply through that portal.
Madam, it has been observed that the premier institutes like IIT, IIM and the other central funded universities and laboratories have higher opportunities of receiving funds and the facilities also. So, how this ANRF will ensure the equality of the research funding, especially those are deprived for the research access?
It is a very valid question, because sometimes I am also in these committees when we are allocating funds, and it is a very natural phenomena that whenever we have projects from IITs, IIMs, central universities or good universities, the first inclination is to give them grants. So, what happens is that the good universities are always getting better grants, and the ones which actually require grants, they are deprived of the grants. So, now with this national education policy, I think the things are going to improve. It is too early to say right now, but it is a uniform portal, as I told you, and anybody can apply. So, and the second thing is that the attitude of the government has also changed, because earlier the attitude was to give grants to good universities, to good workers. Now, our objective of the government is to give grants to each and every one, so that we are able to develop a good research ecosystem and provide grants even to the smaller universities or the smaller sectors of the education system.
Yes, that is very important in change of attitude.
Yeah, and we can at least hope that now those underprivileged research institutions, they will be benefited through this ANRF.
Yes, of course. One more thing I would like to know, usually it has been observed that the university education does not meet the requirement of industry. So, how this NEP 2020 will helpful to produce students those are more practical and the job ready for industries?
I think that NEP 2020 does not have any direct role in that, but it is an initiator, it is a motivator, because it is trying to tell the universities that they have to interact with academia, and this has already started. Because earlier we found that the university system, they are only involved in imparting education or giving degrees, and the industry, they are only involved in product manufacturing and production. But now how to correlate both of these, I think we have to make each other understand, because universities require more of industry experience, which they are lacking, they are in the university system, and the industry, they lack resources. They have the expertise, they have the instruments, they can carry on research, but they do not have sufficient hands. The university has. So, that is the reason why the universities, they are going in for MOUs with these industries. We ourselves, we have around 72 MOUs which are with other universities, national as well as international. So, I think the best way out is a collaboration with the industries, and if we do this collaboration with the industries, I think this type of partnership is going to benefit both. That is, the industries, they can also be benefited, the universities can also be benefited, and a new thing which is coming up, which I have seen in some of the private universities. Ours is a government university, and we often face such type of constraints, that they have invited these industries to their campus. So, the university, they provide the land area, and these industries, they have their own setup in the university. So, now it becomes very interactive. The students are there in the university, the industry is there, and they get a first hand industry experience there. So, I think that if this type of arrangement can be made, although it is not very practical to have it in all the different universities, but it is of course a better system. But if this is not possible, of course, we can go in with linkages with industries and try to be more involved in that. Not that only we are sending our students to a training for 15 days, 1 month, that does not serve our purpose. It should be a strong interaction between the universities, so that our students are truly benefited and they learn the techniques, and it would also help in their placements, because the students, they are more interested in their placements. So, once they come in contact with the industries, they can also be picked up at a later stage by these industries themselves.
So, that would be a wonderful idea for the academia industrial collaboration. That will be more productive, of course. Thank you. And another thing is that India is working on developing the resources and make it more accessible for the people who are, those are sitting in a remote place, and especially it reminds me one nation, one subscription. So, how do you think making the access more resources to young generation would be more productive in case of academic research?
It is true that some of our rural areas or some of our smaller institutions, they are deprived of these facilities, but the government is taking a lot of initiative, like you said that access to the journals. They have many of the journals, they have made free access, but that is not all. We must also have a certain practical experience, and mainly the setup of the laboratories. So, here when we talk about setting up of the laboratories, I think these institutions, they should also come forward, and many a times I find that the younger or the a little deprived institutions, they do not have that much of confidence that we can take a research project. So, I would suggest that these smaller universities, they should also become confident, because now we have a policy which caters to the research needs. They should make maximum use of it, and I am sure that this deprived sector can also improve in the future.
Yes, that is very important. And you earlier focused upon the multidisciplinary research. How we can develop the research culture to pursue this multidisciplinary research in our universities? What is your take on this?
It is important, and I have also discussed it at a different fora at the UGC level also, and also in some meetings with the Ministry of Education, because no university can boast of having all types of research facilities. So, when we talk about multidisciplinary research, and especially when we talk about the society, we are in a sector of the university, and we are going in for research ultimately to serve the society. So, if we just think in a one track phenomena, I think we cannot be so productive. But if we think that we can do experiment A and another university can do experiment B, and if A plus B can give good results, so why not collaborate with that university and go in for multidisciplinary research? And many a times earlier we found that the science people are not only science, like you are of zoology, we talk only about research in zoology, but now we move out and we talk about, I think you yourself know that you try to collaborate with biotechnology people, you try to collaborate with environmental science people, so we gradually become multidisciplinary. But this is not all. Today we are also moving on to the social sciences, and these workers or researchers, they can also collaborate with the science groups. So, if we talk about multidisciplinary research or transdisciplinary research, I think we can become more productive and the nation can be benefited to a greater extent.
Yes, that is very interesting to discuss about the other subject. Usually when we talk about the science and technology, our focus goes on the science departments only. But we have many departments in humanity faculty, and what would be your suggestion for those faculties working in those departments can contribute significantly in academic research?
They can, because as I told you, it is not only in their area of research, they can collaborate with science groups, and there are many areas where they themselves can do research, And when this ANRF came, then also people thought that it is meant only for science departments, only for technology, only for professional courses, but they also cater to some of the social science background researchers. So, I think that there are opportunities for them also, and they can approach NRF as also other research organizations to improve their research culture.
Madam, recently NEP 2020 has come up with the idea to implement research and as well as implementing four-year UG program, and after that students can jump into the PhD courses. How do you think that implementation would be predictive for academic research in our universities?
That is a wonderful opportunity, because earlier the research oriented students, they had no opportunity to study or orient themselves towards research. Only after they completed their PG, they suddenly jumped into research. But now according to NEP, when you are doing a 4-year degree program, the 4th year is basically dedicated to research. So, our young student who is only doing graduation, he or she becomes oriented to research, and when he or she goes into masters, or even if the percentage is above 75%, it is a possibility in NEP that they can directly jump into research. So, they can move on to the research. I feel that this is a very good pathway for our research minded students, who often used to feel that we do not have any research background when they go in for research after doing their PG. So, if they have this research program, or they have studied it during the 4th year program, it provides them a wonderful opportunity not only to go in for research, but also they save 1 year. They, instead of doing 2 years of PG program, they can save 1 year, and then they can go in for research. And I think if such a student goes in for research, because he or she is already research oriented, they are obviously they are going to give better results.
So, it means the inculcating research in young minds is very important.
Yes, definitely.
So, I would like to understand what NEP 2020 playing a role in access resources, because most of this time it is a major concern for researcher, they are not able to get access of resources and the equipment, other things.
Well, I feel that any researcher who wants to do research, there is no dearth of instruments, and when we are talking about multidisciplinary research, and also when we are talking about sharing of resources, like we ourselves are doing, you yourself are looking after this section, you are the director of research and development. We have 8 centers which are present in our university, and I would also like to tell the audience that our research facilities are open for all. You can visit our website and see our centers. So, similarly the other universities, some of them they are doing, and I have also discussed it with the UGC chairman, and we are working on how we can pool these facilities. They are available on our website, and any researcher from our university can go and do research in some other university, so that we can not only gain expertise in that instrument, we can also develop collaboration, we can have better research papers which are having a high impact. So, I think it is a wonderful idea to share our resources instead of being limited to our resources which are present in our laboratory.
Oh, so thank you. You have covered many aspects of the research also. So, and the last I would like to ask you, share any message to young minds and the academic institutions, those are striving to develop academic research in their institution. Yes, please.
Well, my message for our young researchers is that research is like a junoon shabd aapne suna hai na. It is like a junoon, that when you just think that I have to do research, you have to be determined in your objectives, and many a times in your research you find failures, but failures are the stepping stones to success. All the Nobel laureates, they have worked hard to get those Nobel prizes, and even you can do it, provided you have that determination and you do good work. I wish you all the best, and may you become very good researchers in future.
Thank you so much, Professor Gupta, for your valuable thoughts. You have shared your thought on various aspects on facility, resources and developing young minds and institutions, those are working together in the different fields. I feel that the conversation will be helpful to young minds and boost their researches and contribute significantly to India. It was a truly nice pleasure to have with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta ji. Thank you.